with Josh Moser, Mike DePasquale, Donovan Campbell, and Drew Rosenhaus.
Hi, everybody. Welcome out live to FTX Arena. Game 7 against the Celtics, not going the way the Heat wanted this. They give away home court advantage, winning just one of 4 games here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Sorry, everybody. The Heat season ending here tonight. No NBA Finals this year for the Heat. Let's go through this because the Heat had their chances. We're going to start in the first quarter. It was all Celtics from the jump. Jason Tatum firing from downtown. Heat trailing by 15 after 1. Second quarter, Miami on the comeback. Jimmy Butler drives, three-point play the old-fashioned way, lead down to 12. Later in the quarter, Butler going to try his luck from long range. That goes 18 in the quarter, 24 in the half. Heat down 6 at the break. Second half, jumping straight to the fourth. Heat down 7, Bam Adebayo. Big slam. It is a 2-possession game. Then, later in the frame, we're seeing Jimmy Butler, the dribble drive, so strong to the rim, gets the bucket to go. Game high 35 for him. Heat trail by 3. Celtics counter. Jason Tatum, degree of difficulty 100 on the fall away. The Celtics are back up 10, but Miami would not go away. Kyle Lowry drives, gets the layup to go. It's back to a 2-possession game. Then, under a minute to play, crunch time, Max Strus, ice in the veins. The 3, yes sir, that makes it a 2-point game. 20 seconds left. Butler for the lead, pull up 3, front iron, that would have done it, needed 2 for the tie, goes for the win. The Heat fall 196. The Celtics are the 2022 Eastern Conference champions, winning 4 games to 3. So we will get you to the locker room here momentarily. Jimmy Butler saying that it was the right decision to go for 3 there instead of going for 2 at the tie. He's at the podium now with Kyle Lowry. Let's go there now.
Can you please take us through that final sequence, transition, Marcus misses, you get the rebound, come down in transition, thought process on that shot at that time, please?
My thought process was go for the win, which I did. Missed the shot, but I'm taking that shot. My teammates liked the shot that I took, so I'm living with it.
Jimmy, you played every second of this game. Did you know that you were going to do that going in, and just kind of what was your mentality entering tonight's Game 7?
No, I didn't know, but with every second that I did play, I feel like I should have done more, could have done better to ensure this win. I mean, ain't nothing you can do about it now, but I just really, really, really appreciate the guys that I get to go to battle with, and I'm grateful for those guys.
Jimmy Spo said many times that there's not going to be any excuses offered, but how frustrating is it that so many of you guys were dealing with injuries toward the end?
Very frustrating. We want to win just like everybody else. Everything we put into this game, day in and day out, it's towards winning, and that's the only thing that we care about here in the Miami Heat organization. But I like it because we can learn from it. I can learn from it as much as anybody else. And in my book, I just think I can't have bad games. I play like trash a couple, and I think that was the series.
Kyle, I know, like Jimmy, never any excuses, but now that it's over, are you able to share how limited you were from the hamstring when you did play the last couple of weeks?
I was out there, and, I was out there playing. That's all that really mattered. At the end of the day, we don't make excuses. We tip our hats to the Boston Celtics. Congratulations, Eastern Conference champions, and, they beat us. And, for ourselves, it is what it is. We go back to the drawing board and back to the bottom of the totem pole like everybody else besides 2 teams right now.
Jimmy, how would you sum up the series that you just had?
Not good enough. I didn't do my job. Stats don't mean anything. As I say over and over again, the Boston Celtics did what they came out here to do in this series. And I learned that I have to be better and I will be better. So, back to the lab. I get the opportunity to work out with these guys over the summer, and we're going to come back better than ever.
As you look forward now, what do you think you guys need to cross the threshold?
Figure out a way to be consistent. I think we had enough. I think we do have enough. It sucks because, like, you don't know who's going to be on a roster any given year, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to play with the guys that I did have the opportunity to play with, and it's been like that every year that I've played in the league. So we had enough. Next year, we will have enough, and we're going to be right back in the same situation, and we're going to get it done.
Jimmy, as one of your all-star running mates in a manner of speaking, what did Bam show you in this game and in this series?
What he's capable of when he has the opportunity to be that guy. I've said it all year long. He's the engine that makes us run on both ends of the floor. He does so many things well. I'm very grateful to be able to play with an individual like him, along with so many other people on our roster. But I think the more and more comfortable that Bam gets, that he knows that he's a star in this league, you know, you can't put a cap and a ceiling on his talent and his abilities. So as long as he's comfortable, he's going to be hell whenever he's out there on the floor.
Kyle, you worked all regular season. You shaped your season a certain way to get ready for this. And I know it sounds obvious, but I imagine it has to be frustrating for that to happen and then for your injury to come when it did. Can you just take us inside a little bit on your emotions about being frustrated given the whole season and then, you know, getting hurt early in the first round?
It's been a wild season for me individually, you know, and my personal life has been, you know, it was a little bit different for me this year. But I'm given the opportunity to play basketball, and anytime I get a chance to play, I'm really happy to do it. I will never make an excuse about injuries, never. I was out there. Jimmy was hurt. You know, Tyler was hurt. You know, Chuck was hurt. They had guys hurt. You know, I wish I would have been able to play a little bit better at a higher level, but I didn't. And it just adds fuel. You know, you don't know how many more opportunities you will have to get back to this. And so for me, personally, honestly, it was a waste of a year. And then I only played to win championships. And so it was fun. You know, I appreciate the guys, my teammates, and I appreciate the opportunity. But for me, it was like, it's a waste of a year. You're not playing for a championship. You don't win a championship. It's a waste of a year.
We bring it out back live to FTX Arena. We're joined by the 5 Reasons Sports Network's Ethan Skolnick for a little bit more in-depth analysis on this. Everybody talking about this Jimmy Butler 3. Had a chance to go for 2 for the tie, decides to go for the win. Was that the right decision?
I mean, I don't have a problem with it because it's Jimmy Butler doing it. And I understand that he frustrated people with some of the shots in the last minute or 2 of games this year. But again, who else was going to do it? I mean, if you look at that particular play, too, Bam was back, all the way back, okay, hadn't gone up court. Kyle was a few steps behind Jimmy and not running all that fast. So he basically had Strus and Oladipo with him. They weren't spaced. You know what? If he makes that shot, the roof comes off this place, they win the game. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it in this case. Again, the rest of the team was 10 of 40 other than Bam or Jimmy. Who else did you want taking the shot? So I'm fine with it. The process, but I'm all right with it.
I mean, you get the ball in your best player's hands with the game on the line. You really couldn't ask for more. But for me, 3-point shooting, free throws, you make a couple more shots, you're going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, what's crazy, the free throw shooting was weird. I mean, that was an anomaly. This has been a really good free throw shooting team the whole year and in the postseason, too. Now, the 3-point shooting was great in the regular season, but not in the postseason. And that's something they've got to look at this offseason. To me, it's not fluky when it goes on for 3 series, okay? Again, they were the best in the league during the regular season. They were 7th in the league on volume, so it was high volume, too. They were not a good 3-point shooting team in the playoffs. With the exception of a couple of outlier games, they just didn't make shots. And again, 10 of 40 other than Bam or Jimmy. You look at the 3-point shooting tonight. I mean, Jimmy's one of your better 3-point shooters in the playoffs. That should not be the case. So I know Duncan Robinson was out of the rotation. It's part of it. Strus was up and down. Vincent was up and down. Lowry was mostly down. And Hero was not available for the most part, didn't play particularly well in the playoffs, and then tonight probably shouldn't have been out there. So those are your 3-point shooters. They didn't get enough 3-point shooting. The one name we really haven't mentioned is P.J. Tucker. Started this game, but he played less than 20 minutes. What do you think Spo's reasoning was for that? I think he just hit the wall, to be honest. And I think P.J. deserves enormous respect. He probably shouldn't have been playing in a lot of these playoff games either. You know, you look at tonight, he wasn't defending the way he usually does. He wasn't making open shots. He had some clean looks that he wasn't hitting. 17 minutes. But, you know, what's interesting and what's going to need to be discussed this offseason was we talked all year about depth, right? Depth. It's the deepest team in the league. Erik Spoelstra was basically down to 6 guys in a Game 7. And some of it was injury related. Obviously, hero situation for sure. But he didn't play Caleb Martin tonight. He didn't play Duncan Robinson tonight. He didn't play Dwayne Dedmon tonight. Your depth is only as good as many guys as you trust in a Game 7. They probably got to find more guys.
We know that you need to surround players around Jimmy Butler, but when you look at the postseason as a whole with him, especially what he did on the offensive end, how special was he?
No, that shouldn't be forgotten. And I know this doesn't end the way that, say, LeBron's great playoff runs with the Heat ended or Dwayne's great playoff runs with the Heat ended, but this was right up there for me. I mean, he was trying to will a team on his back, and I know tonight he said he didn't do enough. Jimmy tends to be contrary about these things. He did enough. He did more than enough, okay? He talked about not playing well in those 2 games. He didn't. We know that the knee was a factor. He wasn't going to use that as an excuse. Obviously, it got better as the series went on. But I just think that Jimmy's performance should be commemorated in Heat history with the greats. He cemented himself as a Heat great in his 3 seasons. And here's the thing, Josh. This is the Jimmy Butler build. You know, a lot of us, too, in the podcast space and the media space have been trying to push this to Bam's team or Tyler's team. It's still Jimmy's team. They have to do whatever they can to try to win win a championship in the Jimmy Butler window. That's where they're at. That's what this offseason is going to be about again. You got to get Jimmy a chip. I mean, that's what he came here to do. He resurrected the franchise. He played to the level this year and in the finals 2 years ago of a champion. You got to get him more help.
Yeah, multiple 40-point games this playoffs, and he said that he believes that they can get back to the Eastern Conference Finals next year. We're going to talk a little bit more about that on the other side of the break. Stay with us here. We'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back to FTX Arena and Lexus Sports Extra, everyone. I'm Josh Moser. The Heat suffering a heartbreaking loss here in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and it is being felt all across Miami, especially through Heat Nation. And for a look at what the fans are feeling right now, we're going to have our Lexus Sports Extra debut of the Miami League College and Fraternity and really the Rec League All-Star, the one and only Sheldon Fox, taking a night off on Miami Beach to come over to Biscayne Bay. Hi, Sheldon.
Rec League All-Star. It's all about the follow-through, Josh. It's all about keeping the elbow in. Anyway, I wished I could be coming to you now with a Miami Heat Eastern Conference Championship t-shirt on, but that's not how it goes tonight. Ooh, it stings. It hurt my stomach throughout the game. Now it hurts my heart, and a lot of people feel the same way. We can get a look at some of the people coming out of FTX tonight, man, and it was tough. Some slumped shoulders, some downtrodden feelings, some wooziness on the part of those who came out of the arena tonight. You can understand why. It was an emotional roller coaster throughout Game 7. You had a lot of peaks and valleys, a lot of the Heat trying to come from behind, and they successfully did it a few different times, just a little bit short. And yeah, it stings. And here's how it felt through the people who came out of the arena tonight.
Listen, it hurts real bad. It's like going to Christmas, you ain't get a gift. Everybody got a gift but you. Because the refs, they was giving out gifts to all the people in green.
When Jimmy missed that shot, what was the feeling inside collectively?
It hurt a lot. It hurt a lot.
It was horrible. It was very disappointing at the end.
How does it feel?
I'm really disappointed, but we had an amazing season. I was just excited that I got to go to a couple games and watch these Heat players ball out.
Great season, right?
Yeah.
I'm hurt, man. It was just taken out of us really quickly, you know? We needed this game for the city. We needed it for the team.
Of course it hurts, but, you know, everyone rallied around the team tonight, man. And, like, obviously we wish that Jimmy made that three-point shot, but, you know, whatever, he made the decision, we're going to live with it. And, you know, that's it. We're Miami Heat fans through and through. Next year, we're going to come
right back.
So some good attitudes on the part of those fans. They were hurt, but they kept saying how happy they were to see the Heat turn out with this kind of effort tonight. Not just tonight, but throughout the entire duration of the playoffs and the season. Some were saying this could have been the best non-championship season in franchise history. I tend to agree with them. A lot of great years for this club. This was a gritty and tough one. Josh, you know it better than most. We are live outside of FTX. Sheldon Fox, 7 News. Back to you, Josh. All about that follow-through, by the way.
Oh, I appreciate that. We're going to get back out on the court, Sheldon. Thanks so much for staying up late with us, and thank you for staying up late for us. But we've got to talk about Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra. Was named one of the 15 best to ever do it here this last year. We're talking on running a team, and he's been to the conference championship 7 different times, everyone. This one is the first time that he came out on the losing end.
You can't prepare for it. You're not thinking about it. It's one of the worst feelings in the world to address, your locker room after a game, like this. When it ends, it ends in a thud, and I have just so much incredible respect and love, for everybody in the locker room and what everybody gave to this team, and when it's such a memorable season and postseason, it felt like 5 seasons in one. All the different chapters and adversity that this group was able to overcome. It was a really a fun group to be around. It was a hard-edged group, but it's all the qualities that we love, the good, the bad, and everything in between. We faced a team that kind of matches all of the best qualities of what we do. It was fitting that it would probably come down to that last possession. While I continue to ramble, I thought it would have been an incredible storyline, Jimmy to pull up and hit that 3, and I love that about Jimmy. That was the right look, and I just thought, as it was leaving his hand, I thought for sure that was going down. Good, clean look. It's definitely better than anything that we could have designed, and it's just a shame that it didn't end that way. But I can't compliment Boston enough. They've gone through the fire, and they earned that right to go to the finals.
Have you seen the replay yet on the Max Strus overturned 3, and what was your reaction
I didn't.
when you found out so far after the fact?
I was in shock. I was asking, Quinny about that. The fact that it happened, 3 to 4, 5 minutes later in game time, that does change the context of how you're playing. We were starting to gain some momentum, and you feel like it's a 7-8 point game, and all of a sudden it's a 13-point game. You're looking up, and there's no explanation for it other than it's gone back to to the league offices. You feel like if it happens like that, it should happen immediately, and then you can adjust accordingly. But look, that's not the reason we lost. We still had plenty of opportunities. We just couldn't get control of the game. A lot of that was Boston. But we didn't stop grinding, and we gave ourselves a shot at it, at the end. We just couldn't make enough plays during the course of the game. It felt like most of the game we were grinding from an 8 to 10 point deficit.
Jimmy played every second tonight. Was that the plan entering?
It wasn't, but I was going into this by any means necessary. I have so much freaking respect for the guys in the locker room, and Boston was going through their stuff too. This is one of the most admirable, honorable series that I've been a part of. Guys that were clearly not anywhere near close to 100% on both sides. You have guys staggering around out there, and then, the loose ball and instincts just take over. It was extremely physical, really hard played, well played at times, and because both teams, are so effective defensively, sometimes it was probably ugly, to the average fan, but to us, it's beauty. But we had to play Jimmy and Bam. We couldn't afford to take them off the court tonight.
The Celtics will now face the Warriors in the NBA Finals. We've got to take a quick commercial break. We're going to hear from Bam Adebayo and the Celtics when we return on Lexus Sports Extra. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back live to FTX Arena. The Heat falling 196 In Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, Miami will not be going to the NBA Finals this year. Heartbreaking, especially for Bam Adebayo. We have seen him grow so much as a young player. Great on the defensive end, probably will win a Defensive Player of the Year award at some point in his career. But tonight, 25 points in the loss. And just like Heat Nation, he is also dealing with a very emotional evening.
It's just one of those things, man. You fight so hard throughout the season, ups and downs, injuries, disrespect, and you still find a way to come this close. It's rough.
Bam, what was your mindset offensively coming in tonight? You really seemed to attack the basket and look for your shot early. What was that your mindset entering?
Win or go home. At that point, it's all hands on deck, leaving it all out there. One thing I love about this team, we fought through adversity this whole year. So we've had guys out multiple times, so it's nothing normal to us. Just this was the last one this season. I feel like this series taught us, how to go down to a Game 7. It's just unfortunate we ended up on the losing side.
The two teams are obviously very closely matched. What difference would a healthy Tyler, do you think, would have made in this series?
I mean, he's our spark off the bench, so I feel like he would have made, a big difference. He can get it going in a hurry, so, we missed that aspect. But like I said, we fought through adversity before. We fought, being number one in the East with a whole bunch of guys out and still staying number one in the East.
And what do you think Jimmy proved, not only in the series, but this postseason?
You can put him in that category of superstars. To me, he's one of the best two-way guys in the league, hands down.
Let's talk about the Celtics. This is the first finals for the new Big Three. That is Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart. Jason Tatum winning the most valuable player of the Eastern Conference Finals. It is now the Warriors next week in the NBA Finals.
I mean, it's hard to win in this league, especially in the playoffs. Any given night, things could go differently, but, a good team, is able to respond. A good team is able to put their best foot forward each and every night. It's a couple games that we felt got away from us, and instead of carrying it like baggage, we wore it like, a badge of experience.
Feeling good. It's been a long road, obviously, throughout this season. Feels like it was always meant to be this way. Difficult, obviously, 2 Game 7s in the last 2 series, and shows what I said about our group, that we fought through a lot of adversity this year, a resilient group, and tonight seemed to kind of typify our season.
So the Heat had their chances again. Jimmy Butler, the Heat's best player, had the ball with a chance to take the lead with under 20 seconds to play, but he misses the shot. Can't ask for much more than that. Unfortunately, season ends for the Heat. We're going to wrap things up with our final thoughts after the break. Stay with us. Hi, everybody. Welcome back out live to FTX Arena. Heartbreak for the Heat. Their season ends in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, falling 100-96 to the Boston Celtics. We saw the Heat earn the #1 seed in the East to begin the playoffs. We then saw them run through the Hawks. They got past the 76ers, but they just could not get past the Boston Celtics. Just 1-3 on their home floor here in the Eastern Conference Finals. But what was good, we saw Jimmy Butler turn into a bona fide superstar in his 3 years here in Miami. You can count him as a franchise player, probably a Heat legend, especially what he did in this postseason run. Multiple 40-point games, for Butler. We saw Bam Adebayo grow, championship point guard in Kyle Lowry. We've seen key pieces be added. Victor Oladipo will be a free agent coming up, so we'll keep you posted on that. But sorry, everybody. No NBA Finals this year for the Heat. They were that close, but hey, there's always next year. That'll do it for us tonight here at FTX Arena. On behalf of our entire 7 Sports team, we say good night, and we'll see you again next Heat season. Good thing we got a lot of sports to cover here in Miami. Have a great rest of your night and start to your week. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody.